Hi, I'm professional house planner Jack Thomason, and I've had the privilege of working with Shaw Floors on custom home projects for television and magazines across North America. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to install Shaw's vinyl flooring, specifically luxury vinyl plank featuring the Versalock floating installation system. These are often called LVP products for short. This category of flooring is the fastest growing in the industry, and part of the reason is that they are easy to install. Plus, you can install this flooring anywhere, from the basement to the top level. And one of the benefits is that you won't need any adhesive. Let's get started. Before beginning the installation process, please be sure to read all manufacturer's instructions carefully. Some of the most important things you can do to ensure a successful installation take place before you install the first plank. When your LVP flooring arrives at your home, you should place the flooring in the room where you will install it so it can acclimate to the home's temperature and humidity levels. Why? Your flooring will expand and contract. That's natural. But if it doesn't acclimate to the room, the expansion and contraction could be so severe that it could buckle the entire floor. The flooring should be stacked no more than 3 cartons high. The product needs to acclimate for at least 48 hours, which means it needs to adjust to the ambient temperature of the room, which should be between 65 degrees and 85 degrees Fahrenheit from the time the LVT arrives through installation and afterward. The humidity level should be kept between 35% and 65%. Another important part of your prep work is moisture testing. Moisture under your floor is its worst enemy. Now, you can buy an expensive tool to test this, or you can easily test your concrete subfloor for moisture by taping a trash bag to the floor along all 4 sides, creating a seal. After 48 hours, you can check to see if any moisture was captured by the trash bag. If you do think moisture might be a problem, it might be necessary to use a more advanced test. Follow the link below to learn more. Then you'll want to make sure your subfloor is clean, dry, and flat within 3/16 of an inch of any 10-foot section. You can use a 6-foot straight edge to determine any low spots, and if any spots exceed 1/8 of an inch, fill them in with a cement leveling compound. With LVP, you don't have to use an underlayment, but you can. Some people choose to use an underlayment because they prefer the way footsteps sound when it's used. Remove quarter round and undercut door frames to provide necessary clearance for your new LVP flooring. Now you'll need to gather your tools. The materials you'll need are a tape measure, utility knife, tapping block or rubber mallet, pull bar, 5/16 of an inch spacers, T-square, and safety glasses. Begin by opening the boxes and inspecting the planks for damage. As you install, you'll want to pull planks from multiple boxes to achieve an even color variety across the floor. First, you need to decide which direction to run the planks. Many people prefer the look of planks running parallel to incoming sunlight. Some people prefer to base the direction of the planks on traffic pattern in and out of the room. The choice is up to you. Once you know the direction, you'll decide your starting wall. Most people start with an exterior wall because those walls are often straighter than interior walls, making it easier, but either wall will do. Now, what I'm about to tell you may be the most confusing part of an installation. We're going to determine the size of our first and last rows. Why? Because the room will look more beautiful if the first and last rows are equal size. The sign of a new installer is a first row that's 6 inches wide and a last row that's 3. Before you start your first row, measure the room. Then divide by the width of the flooring planks you're installing. How many planks will it hold? Half of what remains will be the size of the first row, and the other half will be the size of the last. Keep in mind, though, that no row should ever be less than 2 inches in width. Okay, it's time to install our floors. So, facing the starting wall, begin in the left corner of the room. This is a spacer. You'll use 5/16 of an inch spacers to maintain the proper expansion gap around the entire perimeter of the floor and around cabinets, pipes, and any other obstacles in your room. You leave this space because the floor can expand with variations in temperature and humidity. As you begin the second row, you'll need to stagger the planks by 1/3 or 1/2 the length of the plank for an attractive natural appearance. For this installation, we're using LVP that has a wood look. Shaw's vinyl floors click together easily. This particular flooring uses the Versa-Lock system. Simply click the short side of the plank or tile vertically into the previous one, pressing down by hand and rolling it with the other to ensure a tight fit. To fit the length joints together, slightly lift the new plank or tile to engage the other, shifting to match the end joint of the previous plank or tile. Rotate downward to click together properly. You might need to use a hand roller to lock the end joint. As you near walls, you will probably need to cut planks or tiles to fit. All you need to do is score the top wear layer with a utility knife, then snap it along the score line. Continue to install adjoining rows from left to right until you reach the final row, always maintaining the 5/16 of an inch expansion space. Remember, we determined the width of the last row before we started. Just cut the planks or tiles to fit that final row against the walls, but be sure to maintain the 5/16 of an inch expansion gap. If you're installing vinyl floors in a room that receives direct sunlight, you'll want to use blinds, shades, or draperies during peak sunlight hours, as prolonged exposure to direct sunlight may permanently damage your floors. The key to a beautifully finished floor is completing it with the right transition pieces, such as quarter round, T-molding, and reducers. Once you've finished installing the vinyl planks, you can install quarter round to cover the expansion gap around the perimeter of the room. For doorways, you'll want a T-molding or a multi-purpose reducer depending on the height of the floor in the next room. These pieces create an attractive and safe transition from one room to another. Now it's time to enjoy your beautifully finished floor. Best of luck, and if you have any questions or need more information, visit our website to learn more or contact the Shaw Product Specialist Support Team.